Welcome to the welcome video for M Theory. So your first week, today we're going to set you guys up and make sure you understand the journey that we're about to take together to reach your goals. First thing you need to know is one of the main things that M stands for M Theory is mentorship. So it doesn't matter what membership you guys are on, everyone gets a mentor, a nutrition coach dedicated to you for the year to make sure you're seeing the changes you're after. If you're a nutrition client, you'll have that mentor with you every single week face to face, or if you're a semi or a PT client, you'll have that mentor checking with you every single week as well, but through online video check-ins. They'll review your day-to-day to make sure the habits that you have are aligned with your goals. First thing I want to introduce you guys to is our success habits. If we're hitting or improving these habits, you guys are guaranteed to achieve those results. First up, we have workout targets. So are you hitting the dedicated sessions that you've set out to achieve? Number two is food rares, which is junk food, fast food, restaurant bad choices, or anything that's high sugar, high saturated fats that's against your goals. Number three is drink rares. So it's mostly drinks that are high sugar, like your sodas, or anything that contains calories that's pushing you past your calorie budget. Number four is alcohol, so how much alcohol we're having each week. Number five is making sure we're having 2 to 3 liters of water. Number six is step count, so something that everyone underestimates is the power of steps with fat loss, so making sure we're tracking that and increasing that to see more and more results. Number seven is sleep, so having at least 7 hours of sleep. Number eight is successful breakfast, so making sure we're waking up and having a successful breakfast to start our day, which will always move mountains for the rest of your day's success. Number nine is calories, or achieving a calorie deficit to achieve fat loss. And then number 10 is hitting our protein target to make sure we're getting enough protein to build muscle, lean mass, speed up metabolism, and see more results. Next up, alrighty guys, welcome to Trainerize. I'm going to go through a bit of a demonstration for you guys today on how to use the Trainerize app. The reason why we love this app is we have calorie tracking, we got macro tracking, we got habit tracking, and we'll also have our workouts and group communication within the gym. At the top here, I've got my daily nutrition goal, so I've got my macros set up. Level 1 is purely just calorie tracking if you're new to this. Level 2 is calories and protein. And then level 3 is macros, so we've got calories, protein, and carbs, and fats. If you'd like to set up, let your mentor know, and we can do that for you. Next up, I've got my workout of the day. So I'm on the Superset green for legs at the moment. So I've got my workout there. And then below this is all my habits I'm tracking. So I've got my training, I've got my food rares, I've got my drink rares or alcohol, I've got my 3 liters of water, I've got my step count, and I've got my sleep 7 hours plus, and I've got my protein target as well. I'll just show you, so if I've complete the habit, mark the box, and then hit complete, and it will just basically mark that habit as complete for the day, just so we can keep an eye on our habits and your mentor can review exactly how your habits are going at the end of the week. Next up, I've got the groups. I've got PK Girls group here. So we can talk to each other on the group as well. Down through here, I've got my steps as well, so I can track my steps for the day, track my sleep, didn't sleep very well last night, track my body weight, my body fat percentage, plus my photos and my calorie intake as well. If I go to the calendar, I can review the last couple of days in that, I can review my week in that. If I go to the kettlebell down the bottom, I can then see my workouts. So I'm going to show you guys how to track workouts. We're going to select into this here, I'm going to choose my workout of the day. I'm going to hit start now. Awesome. So from here, I'm going to go through and track the workout. So it's 10 reps today for my split squats. And then I'm doing body weight the first set, 10 reps for the second set. I might do 10 kilos. Third set, I might do 15 kilos. And then 20 kilo dumbbells for my fourth set. Really basic. So as we go through the workout, we just record the weight through here. And then we can see to the far right as well. That will show me last week's weight as well. Really cool, because as you're training, you'll actually have the app tell you exactly what you did every set last week as well. When we go into supersets, it's actually displayed as you are performing the exercise. So we go into lunges, into a sumo squat, then back to lunges for set 2, into another sumo squat, and then back to lunges and sumo squat again. So it's kind of showing you exactly how we want you to perform the exercise or the superset. Once we've done our workout, we just hit save down the very bottom. We want to make sure we do that, and then we just got to mark the effort overall. How hard was the workout? We can add a comment for your coach as well. Really cool thing is once you mark the workout, it lets your coach know your attendance for the week. So when we do our weekly looms with you guys, we know exactly how you guys are going for your workout attendance. Next thing I want to show you guys is how to track meals through the app. We're going to hit the plus sign down the bottom right hand corner. We're going to go into meals. From this here, we can take a photo of what we're having as well, just as accountability. After that, it'll take you through the tracking system. So we can go right hand corner and scan the item as well. And then we select if that item's correct. Cool. So that's uploaded the granola for me. I could add more food though as well. So I might want to add more food into this meal. Just go add more food. I might chuck in oatmeal to it as well. I'm going to go click grams, change it to grams because it's easier to track. So I add 30 grams oats into that as well. And then I hit the plus sign. And then go review. So now I've got 2 food groups into my meal that I've created for lunch. I then hit log. And that will then log the meal I've just added into my daily macros. If you guys prefer MyFitnessPal as well, really basic, we just hit the 3 dots. We go connect with MyFitnessPal. All we need to do is hit connect and then type in our username and password on this site here. Once we fill out these details, it will then integrate with MyFitnessPal. You have to change your diary sharing into public, and that will then allow it to connect. Really cool thing as well, if you guys have a Garmin or a Fitbit, you guys can then connect that as well. You just hit connect and it will connect your Garmin onto the app as well. That way we can track our sleep and steps with the app in one place. And there you go guys, that is Trainerize. Alrighty guys, next up is going through our shopping list. So the biggest thing to understand guys, if we stock our house with these foods, this is what's going to be the biggest change for your results. Clients that are losing basically 5 kilos milestones in their first month with us, they're the ones that are basically making that change. Alrighty guys, next up we're going to go through understanding the nutrition process. Basically we start you guys off with, first up, a greenie. So we focus on mastering the 10 success habits. Then we level up to rookie, which we focus then mastering calories and consistency. So a consistent deficit. This is our level 1, the foundation level. Level 2 is performance. So we build you guys up to athlete, where we basically build your calorie foundation up. The reason why we have to bump your food up first before we can take it down is most of you guys starting off on 1,000 calories, 1,500 calories. We can't possibly reduce from that. So we have to build the boys up to 3,000 plus calories. We have to build the girls up to 2,000 plus calories. So we've got a high enough playing field to actually then cut from. What this building process does, it fixes your metabolism, it builds muscle, which you're going to in return burn more fat. And then it allows us to have a high enough calorie baseline to start cutting. Next up, we go on to what's called novice. So novice level, we learn to control macronutrients. If we're focusing on calories, calories is for pure weight loss. Macros is to build muscle and lose body fat. So we get to do both the best worlds. Next up, we go onto the fat loss phase over here. So we become a pro. We start the shredding process. So we decrease input and increase the output to see more and more fat loss come off each week. If we feel like you need to, we then go into the elite phase, which is carb cycling. Basically enhances more fat loss and allows you guys to stay in a fat loss phase for longer by having diet breaks as well. Number 7, so the last phase is the lifestyle phase. We basically are the master now of our nutrition. We start to reverse diet you guys back to a high enough calorie baseline to maintain those results. So this is our nutrition journey that we're going to be taking you guys on with M Theory. Next thing down here guys is we've got our 5-star system. So 5-star foods we can eat every day. 4 stars is 3 to 4 times per week. 3 stars is 1 to 3 times per week. 2 stars is occasion. And then 1 star we call rares. We want to try and have as little rares as possible. Next up, so why do we have rares that push us away from our goals? There's 3 reasons why we have rares. Number 1 is convenience, which we translate to lack of preparation. Number 2 is craving, which is emotional triggers. And then number 3 is connection, which is socializing with others. The only one that has a positive benefit is the connection. So we want to try and pull away from convenience and pull away from craving as much as possible because it's just hurting ourselves. Next up guys, so the book is broken down into 3 macronutrients: protein, carbs, and fats. The reason we do break it down into these 3 macros is we want to balance our macros out. If we balance our macros, we build more muscle and we burn more fat. If someone, say like a female, is not hitting their protein and their diet's consisting of purely carbs and fats and that, you are not going to build any muscle. So it's very important to learn how to balance them out. Here below as well is an example of basically a meal plan that balances their macros out. So we can see each meal has a bit of protein, a bit of carbs, and a bit of fats. Next up guys, a carb masterclass. We're gonna go through the body types. This is really important to know just to understand your body a little bit better and understand what carbs your body can tolerate. First up, we're gonna go talk about Jonah. So Jonah is what's called an ectomorph. So ectomorph is very high carb and calorie tolerance, very thin build, poor muscle. They're a hard gainer. They can have high GI carbs or they can have low GI carbs as well, which I'll talk about the difference in a sec. So big thing for Jonah is off season, he's on like 5,000 calories. He can consume so much food without putting on body fat. Ray's a funny one. Ray's a mesomorph. So mesomorph is decent carb and calorie tolerance, muscular build, great at building muscle, and then gains muscle very, very quickly. So he can actually have a combination of low GI and high GI carbs. So he can have a bit of both. Kim over here is a endomorph. So Kim, she's a coach with us and she's lost 40 kilos with us. So Kim, when she started with us, obviously started off as an endomorph. This is a lower carb and calorie tolerance, a bit of a softer build, okay muscle mass, basically carries more body fat though, and they find it very easy to gain body fat as well. So this person here wants majority low GI carbs. Me as well, so I'm an endomorph as well. I'm type 1 diabetic in that. So for that, I definitely have to be careful with my high GI carbs. I will put body fat on very quickly if I am having more high GI carbs. Cool thing to note as well, so Kim's actually a bit of a mix of two. Some people might be a mix of two. Kim's a bit of a meso and an endomorph as well. Kim's got over 32 kilos of muscle, so can put muscle on very, very quickly, but she is a bit of endomorph as well. So hybrid can be quite common as well. Next up, so back to Carb Masterclass. So rule 1, we want to move to more low GI carbs to help regulate our blood sugar and prevent fat storage. Rule 2, we want to save high GI carbs for more pre and post workout to replenish muscle and aid growth. Basically, when we train, we empty the carbs from our muscle. So before and after training, we can use these carbs here, high GI carbs, to restock our muscle quickly. Rule 3 is goal for sugar is 60 grams or less a day. So we've got a sugar budget. Most people obviously blame fat for basically their fat gain. It's actually sugar that's the main issue though. Here's a list as well, guys, of low GI carbs, and then here's a list of high GI carbs. Mostly the white carbs, white potato, white bread, is going to be more so high GI. High GI carbs are simple carbs with a lot of sugar. Sugar-based foods, sugary soft drinks, white bread, potatoes, french fries, white rice, pasta, donuts, bagels, and so on. Understanding what this actually does is down here. Low GI carbs here have a very little spike to your blood sugar, whereas high GI carbs up here have a very high spike. Problem with this is when we have a high GI carb, your blood sugar spikes up really quickly. What happens is insulin comes into your system to bring it back down. The problem with this here is that the fastest way for insulin to bring your blood sugar down is basically storing it in fat cells. So the less insulin we have in the system, the better off we're going to be. Hence why if we're an endomorph, we want to stay towards low GI carbs to limit our insulin. So jumping into the shopping list now, guys. So this is the low GI carb options. This is the best breakfast options as well. So we've got heaps of different breakfast options for you guys. So definitely want you guys choosing from this list if you are endomorph. Then we have the high GI breakfast options as well. So best for ectomorphs, just obviously things that you can choose. We've done the lower end of sugars up the top and then the higher end of sugars down below as well. So someone that's an ectomorph can actually have a lot more sugar than the endomorphs. Endomorphs 60 grams, ectomorphs can go as high as 100 grams of sugar per day. Next up, so we've got low GI options for lunch and dinner. So once again, low carb options up the top, higher carb options down below. And then we've got the higher GI carb options for lunch and dinner for ectomorphs as well. Same as before, lower carbs up top, then higher carbs down below. So if an endomorph is going to be choosing some of these carbs, we want to stay at the top of the list here. Difference as well is like looking at, so rice, 100 grams of rice is 28 grams of carbs versus say pasta, 72 grams of carbs is going to be 100 grams. So massive, massive difference. For these guys here, like Crystal and Jonah, we want to have them actually having more of this here, so they don't have to eat as much food. We can have something that's low volume, high calories, and that's best for ectomorph. Endomorph though, we want to try and basically conserve our calories as much as possible. Next up, we've got quick carb dominant snacks as well for you guys. Low calories up top, high calories down below. And then we've got carb dominant drinks as well. So the best drinks to kind of go towards and have. And these are the best no calorie options down below as well. The best juices, if we are going to have juice, this has got the lowest sugar. Next up, we've got gluten-free carbs in that as well. So if you're obviously gluten intolerant, these are the best ones to go towards. And we've got Protein Masterclass. So Protein Masterclass, understand rule 1, we want 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. Beginners may start 1.5 grams basically per body weight. Depends on our weight, which your mentor will let you guys know. Number 2 rule is keep cuts of meat under 10 grams of fat per 100 grams serve. This will definitely keep your calories down and then help with your fat loss. Number 3 is we do want fats in our diet, just not trans fats. We want to keep our saturated fats low. So our selection of meats will determine how low we keep our saturated fats. Rule 4, we want to consume high poly and mono unsaturated fats. So this is fats in nuts, seeds, oil, and fish. This will help your hormones, this will help your brain function, and this will help even fat burning as well. Rule 5, the ideal portion size for meat is 100 grams, which is between 20 to 30 grams of protein. Rule 6, we want to remember restaurant cuts of meat are likely 300 to 400 grams of very fatty meats. This is why it's very easy to overconsume your calories when we go out to a restaurant, because we could be having 90 grams of fat per serving. Rule 7, meat is good for you if you choose wisely. Rule 8, please use our shopping list for your meat selection. This will keep your meats very, very lean. So we have best protein to have for beef, best protein to have for poultry and kangaroo, best protein to have for pork, best protein to have for fish as well. And then we've got non-meat options for protein as well. So we've got quite a few ideas for obviously vegetarians or vegans. We also have protein dominant drinks, the best drinks to have for your protein intake as well. Protein dominant snacks and treats, so best treats as well. If you've got a bit of a sweet tooth, these are really good. Very low sugar and then very high protein. Next up, I've got fat. So these are the best fats in our meats to have, the best fats for cheese, the best fats for our drinks as well. Also the best fats for nuts, seeds, and cooking oils. Great snack before bed to hit our fats if they're a bit low, if you're tracking macros. And these things here are great to add to cereals to increase our fat intake for the day as well. Quick tip as well, easiest way to increase your fats without increasing any other macro is literally oils. They're pure fat. We also have some fat dominant snacks and treats, and then we have the best fat dominant spreads and butter as well. Last up, guys, is our last page in the booklet as well. We have best pre-made meals. So at the top of the list here is our low carb calorie options for fat loss. And then down through here is our high carb and calorie options for building muscle. If you have any questions about the list, guys, hit us up with a message and we're happy to help you guys.